Hello everyone, Eric Rogers here with Scott Tash. Our webcam is giving us just a little bit of trouble today. I need to restart the computer. I don't understand how things work one day and not the next, but that is the technology world that we live in. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of, yeah, exactly. So guys, November 18th, we have plenty of time. I've got 4 applications coming in today, and we can have those through underwriting and approved with a real solid application voided check. Follow the new application checklist when you're doing those, and your book of business is right on fire. And we've got 2 gentlemen here today that are going to help us out. I've got Micky Finn. What a great name, Micky Finn. And then I've also got Keith Wallin on the phone too. So a local gentleman. Keith, I think I'll go ahead and start with you, sir. I know, Keith, you have literally been to the Arizona office, and I've gone ahead and unmuted Keith Wallin, everyone. He's a regional account manager here in Arizona, and does a great job for us. So Keith, go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of tell them about, you know, when you come up to visit, that there's people walking around in here. We're really here.
We're with a lot of people.
Yeah, I can testify that that there are real people on the other end of the camera and stuff, and there's people in the office working hard every time I come down to visit.
Perfect, perfect. Now you, Keith, I want to make sure that everybody can hear him. Joe Rivard, can everybody hear Keith when he's speaking? Aaron Marmol, Eva Miles. Can you guys, Leah Miller, can you guys hear him? Penny? Yep, okay, so good to go. Just want to make sure that you're loud and clear, Keith. All right. So, so Julie Rowe is your national sales director, and she says that it's kind of fallen in line now for you. Do you want to kind of go ahead and let them know what you're doing recently? And keep in mind that we're speaking to other regional account managers, other reps that are out in the field. You know, Robert, Ray Gagnon, he may have some interest in what's working and what's not.
Okay. Like everybody else, I probably started doing this business the same way. I was doing a lot of cold calling, and I was getting the same cold shoulder from a lot of folks. Now I've got a guy. I'm not interested. I'm too busy or whatever, and so I wasn't having a lot of success with the cold calling, and I got to thinking that I needed to get more into some networking events. So I joined our local Chamber of Commerce back in May. And I started attending the events, and I was getting a few leads, you know, from there. They were giving me an opportunity to, you know, give my 60-second spiel, and that was always helpful. And then one of the chamber functions, a lady invited me to join an organization called BNI, which is Business Networking International. And so I went ahead and I joined that in September, and it's been picking up really well since then. BNI is the largest referral network in the world. They've got 192,000 members in 78 countries, and they are excellent at what they do. And what they do is every week we have a meeting, and we get to stand up and give a 60-second spiel as to what we're interested in that week. So basically, you're training everybody in a room to be a salesman for you. So when they're out doing business and networking, they keep an ear open for credit card processing, and that's the other thing about BNI. When you join, your business is the only one that's allowed to, in that category, allowed to be a part of that chapter. So, in my case, I'm the only credit card processor in a room of 35 people. So not only am I getting referrals from them, to other people, but some of them have been coming up and having me check out their business too, to see if I can help them with their expenses and lower their operating costs and get a better quality product.
Yep, perfect. And ladies and gentlemen, are you hearing Keith? Keith is heard. Okay, he's good to go. It's our speaker here this afternoon. But Scott, you see what he's doing, right? In other words, he's changing his approach. He started out cold calling, which is fine, you know, and you still may want to do a mix, but, you know, he started out down here in a Chamber of Commerce. And just to let everybody know, this is how you can find networking groups in your area. There's this thing called Google. Pretty cool. Kind of takes the place of a library, right, guys? I'm going to tell you how old I am because I really think this little screenshot says it all. When I was a kid, this is what we had to do. So he was invited inside Chamber of Commerce to go to BNI. You can find, it's B as in boy, N as in Nancy, I, and you can find that online in your area. They're pretty much everywhere, right, Keith?
Yes, they are all across the country, all across the world, really. But we're only doing business in the United States right now. So one of the things that you do have to have a sponsor into BNI, and so I'd be willing to sponsor any member of First Direct Financial into BNI, and anywhere across the country. So if you want to contact me, you can get a hold of me at Wallin at firstdirectfinancial.com, and I can sponsor you. I'll find out what chapter is local in your area and stuff, and get you sponsored in, and you can just go visit and see what they've got to offer.
Yep, absolutely, guys. And you'll see, we sent this out. These are your high-risk verticals that you now have more leads. In other words, these are businesses that are not being touched as much because not every merchant processor wants their business. They're either doing too much volume, they're too young in their business life cycle, less than a year, and they're online only. They've got their online store, that type of thing. And if you've got a nice little niche, and we went over this yesterday, Scott, correct? I mean, this is where you start right here.
Yep,
and then
does.
And you ask for referrals. We personally like this because it's a heck of a lot, going out and getting kicked in the mouth, 8 out of 10 times is not fun, right? And you can still do that. And what I would do is cold call wouldn't be necessarily a cold call. It's where I use my card. Now I'm a customer. My card. And now I'm a customer. And we've got guys out there that, like Keith does, will go to a restaurant and say, is the owner here? Or the manager? Yeah, I just want to tell him I had the best sandwich I've ever had. And that's something that the manager comes over, and then you can do your introduction. It's things like that. I want to thank you. This is a great place. And now Keith Wallin can go, I'm local and active in the Chamber of Commerce and another large networking group. I can refer a bunch of people to you guys. So if you'd like to do business with a local yokel like Keith Wallin and myself, I'm here. Your current merchant provider is not bringing that to the table. So even if we're saving 3, 5, 10%, it may not look like a lot, especially if they're a smaller volume business. But my goodness, you guys are still getting that business, right, Keith? And it's perseverance. And I think you guys see the Brian Tracy. I love this one. Here's the key. Just make sure you've got more prospects to see than you have time for, and the money is going to flow your way. This is the best numbers game I have ever seen, and it is residual income that you get paid every month moving forward. So, Keith, do you have anything else? Somebody maybe just starting, some advice that you would give them?
From a cold calling standpoint, you want to research online ahead of time and try to see if you can find out who the actual people are that own the business, and so when you walk in, you're not just asking, well, who's the manager, who's the owner.
Yeah.
If you're armed with somebody's name, then you can get a lot of that information by just Googling the business online and checking out the
Google
facts.
the business name, guys, and this is what we're here for, like Yelp.com. What sites do you use, Keith?
Yelp is one of them. Another one, I'm trying to remember, it lists all of the local businesses in the area with their business owners, how long they've been in business. I can't remember. Right off the top of my head.
Is it Manta?
Manta, that's it.
There we go, fellas. See, I've got ESPN at home. I knew where he was going with that, so I pulled it up early. So here you go, guys. Here are 2 websites that if you're cold calling, or again, the main thing is you want to own your backyard. You want to own your backyard, and we get an objection here and there where folks basically are saying, well, I just switched over. And if you ask them, when did you switch over, and it was when you were in the business, then you may want to up your number of visits per day, that type of thing. You can do that as well. Yes, and Andrew, yeah, for whatever reason, we can read you, Andrew. But these are two really nice websites that Keith Wallin uses in the field. So, Keith, you doing any business here in November?
Yes, I've got several working right now. One's a travel agency. I've got a car dealership I'm working on. Let me see. There's an Alpha Graphics that, believe it or not, actually contacted me through the chamber website and sent an email and said, "Hey, you were in my store. I can't remember your name. You know, my boss took your business card, but I'd like to have you stop by." So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, you know, Eva Miles is she's in the Los Angeles area, and she has signed up in Alpha Graphics.
I knew that, and that was one of the lead-ins that I used. I said, "Hey, we've just helped out an Alpha Graphics in LA get EMV compliant, and we could help you do the same thing."
Correct, yeah, and this is something, guys, that again, you're positioning, Keith, you're positioning yourself in front of these merchants when they're not at work, right? In these Chamber of Commerce groups, and I've been to BNI. I've done a BNI group before, and guys, their main goal is to expand everyone's members' business. And Keith, you're the only one in there that does merchant processing, right?
That's correct. And one of the cool parts about BNI is we all have a folder, a card carrier of every business in the room. So if we're at these different networking events, if somebody says, "Hey, you know, I've got this leak in my in my attic in my house, I need to get taken care of," and then I can say, "Well, hey, I've got a great plumber," and I just reach in my folder and just hand them their business card. And then
Right.
we've got a computer network that allows us to plug in and say, "Okay, I referred so and so to you. I gave them your card, and you can follow up. Here's their telephone number," that kind of stuff. So it makes for a great way to expand your business and expand other people's businesses within your group.
You got it. And we have seen a picture of Keith Wallin, and ladies and gentlemen, the resemblance is uncanny, that he looks like the gentleman who's in The Most Interesting Man in the World. So Keith, again, he's been to the office. He has actually sat in on one of these webinars right here in the media room. So he knows right where we're at, and take to heart what the regional account managers are doing across the country that are being successful. See, they're giving you the shortcuts so you can really ramp up your business right away. And you know, Scott, I want to have you chime in here.
You know, there's always the relationships that you build when you're out there, and you will be surprised that the more that you go talk to other business people, the more that you'll find that they have relationships with other types of business people that are unrelated. But when you start discussing what you do, especially when you're in a social atmosphere,
Yeah, like a business networking group.
yeah, and it's amazing how much business gets generated other than in the office. They say most things are closed on the golf course. Well, I'm not sure if that's true, unless you're chasing me out in the woods to find the ball that I lost.
Yeah.
But I mean, but on the other hand, you know, the social aspect of business relationships is very important, especially when you start building a base of people in your, you know, when you get 5 or 10 different businesses that are processing with you, now you've got the base to go in, because you got to realize that they meet people all day long in their business and outside of their business. I mean, they're not stagnant. They're not hiding in a closet. They're meeting people and networking too. So the more relationships that you have with them, the better it is, because if you're on the top of their mind as a good resource, when they meet another business, you could be the recommendation. I get calls 2 or 3 times a week from, "Hey, your friend, your client, your buddy told me to give you a call and talk about it." I've got one that called me up, and one of my merchants happens to be in Phoenix that I'm working on. So one of the people that knows him that is my particular merchant called him, and now he set up a personal meeting tomorrow at the hotel where he's speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So it's amazing that you can, you know, that thing came out of the blue this
Mm-hmm.
week. So
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
Yeah, and building value. Notice he's carrying business owners' cards that are not his own. So he is building value for these guys, long-term relationships. We could go on and on. Thank you, Keith Wallin. Now, Mickey Finn. Mickey, we've got, this is one of the
Love
best.
that name.
This is a great Ram name. Mickey, I've unmuted you. Are you there, sir?
I am.
You got it. Now, Mickey works with, I believe, Travis Price. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I'm the luckiest guy.
Yeah, he is. I tell you what, Travis has obviously been in the biz, and he insists on being in front of the merchant as much as possible to make your lives easier. And I think that's the point we want to take this as well, that you've got a support team and that you're not out there running solo, okay? And Mickey Finn is in. Give him a little background before you got started here. Because let me tell you, Mickey probably knows more sales stuff. He's probably up in the Scott Tash stratosphere as opposed to, you know, just starting in sales to begin with.
Well, I was originally trained by Northwestern Mutual Life, but since I was newly back from Vietnam and I lost 3 clients that I had newly insured, I thought I'd seen enough of death, so I left that business and been selling whatever the government wanted when they needed it for years. I had my own business for a long time, an IT integration business, and then this opportunity came up. I still do consulting. I'm under a state contract to do that. But I'm going to tell you what, I've never had as much fun as doing this. This is just a blast. It is more fun, and it's difficult. It's a challenge, but Travis makes it just like a cakewalk. And he and I worked on one yesterday. I've called on this guy at least 10 times. Finally got him to say, okay, let's do it. And we made a time, and we sat down to work on it. And if Travis was there, he'd tell you, I don't know how many times I had to call Travis, but I didn't let a question go unanswered. I was not going to let that happen. And there are a lot of things in that contract that the guy has to say. He read every blanket word in that thing.
Uh-oh.
And you want to know what everything meant on that unnumbered page 6, if you know what I'm talking about, the one from Card Connect.
Yep, confirmation page, yep.
Oh my goodness, he read every word and wanted to know what everything meant, and he'd say, okay, that's good. Then we'd go about 2 more lines. I'd say, wow, what does that mean? I thought, let's call Travis back. So Travis just hung in there for me, and by the time we got done, I had signatures. So that one got put in the pipe yesterday. I was really, really pleased to see that happen.
Hey, Mickey.
Yes.
Scott here. That person who read that thing in detail and you answered all the questions, his referrals know him as that type of personality. If you get his referrals, they'll never question you again because they know that he has thoroughly grilled you and vetted you. Yeah. And so his referrals will be probably the easiest to sell after that. So I would hang with that guy because once you get the skeptic to come on board with you, he becomes your best flag saluter.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. And that's something that, again, referrals are huge. Stay with it. You know, we've got many people that are in chamber events or business networking events. And again, I'm going to get back to Mickey Finn and how he does it. But, guys, you can see the sales stats on here. That unbelievable. Almost half of the people out there never follow up once. You get the one no, or they call me back later, and that's it. Are you kidding? Unbelievable.
You did 10 months of call me back later on that guy.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, so again, if you want to be in the top 10% of anything, guess what? You're going to get
and it comes
no's.
Mickey, it comes in waves, doesn't it? You'll be following up on a whole bunch of people, then all of a sudden they'll start to fall into place. So, you know, congratulations on that, my friend.
Yep. Well, are you networking? Are you going to Are you taking the holidays off, Mickey Finn, or are you going to take advantage of all the rest of the sales reps out there taking the holidays off?
Well, my daughter-in-law invited us over for Thanksgiving, so I'll be out of action. But that's usually when no one else is open. But
Yep. No,
I
I'm
just
just saying in general, November and December, we see people check out for weeks at a time.
Yeah, nobody's
I'm
going
not
to be
gonna do
there.
that.
They're all busy with Christmas.
Yeah, this is the time to get it on, guys. And like I said, right here is the key. You want to know the secret? How many people do you talk to, Mickey? Say on average, just kind of let everybody else know throughout the country how you're treating your business.
Well, I am one of those people that found out a long time ago that I used to not like cold calling. Now I do because I go in there with $1 million bill to give them, and they remember who I am. And then at the present time, I've reduced my cold ones now to 6 very hot ones. And number 6 on my list is actually I'm gonna see him at about 8 or 8:30 Monday morning and get him signed.
Yep.
I've got a car dealer, I've got a chiropractor, got a veterinarian, got a marina, and I've got my own dentist who turns out to be he's going to be one that I'm going to have to. I probably won't get him done until January. Uh, and I like the hint on the Alpha Graphics. We've got one of those here in my town, so we're going to go to him. I have there's an eye surgeon in town that manufactures surgical equipment for other eye surgeons, and I have them on my prospect list. So I started out with people that I knew, and then it started to move from those people to people will tell me, well, have you called on this? My wife is really good at that. So I have a list of cold calls, which I like to do. I don't have any problem with that at all. You get to meet more people that way. They don't bother me. So I'm also, I would say, Keith, I'm going to take you up on this. Getting into this Business Network International. I'll get back in touch with you as quick as I can find out the local one here.
It's challenge what you fear most daily, and you'll be a master of your own world. For those of you that are, that don't like cold calls and that, I hated cold calls, and then later on I became a phone training specialist for Paul Webb. So, if you don't like something, you can become very good at it, and then all of a sudden you like it. It's the unknown that we fear more than the actual thing, because nobody likes the rejection. But if you start, like you say, with all your good people first, and then you develop the confidence and the background of knowing what you're talking about, then you can talk to anybody about it, right, Mickey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got one I cold called after I went into what turned out to be her 5th store. I didn't even know that. And I went in and met one of the employees who gave me her card, and then I just came back another time I was driving by that new store and dropped in, and there were 2 ladies standing there that I had never met before. And I said, which one owns the place? And she said, no, I do. Why? So it started from there, and I had a nice chat with her. She said she wasn't going to do anything until January. Phooey on that. So she'll see me also first part of the week here before I go away to have a nice turkey dinner. But then she'll see me the week after that and the week after that until she decides that the only way to get rid of me is to look at my proposal. Because that's the only way to get rid of me. Unless you're going to throw me out, then I really get the hint. But other than that, I'm there in your face until you love me.
Yep, I love that. I love that, and I love the way that again, a lot of people look at cold calling like this, right? It works all the time, 10% of the time. Once you have the confidence and you kind of have your mojo going, your closing percentage with the national sales director involved with this. Remember, you're not alone in this whole thing. We're here to help you out, and guys, all of you know how to make an appointment with your assigned national sales director, correct? Through the email? Point and click right on the email. I think I should probably demonstrate that as well. But guys, you can you can make that money and always be closing. For those of you that think that, all right, here's end of November, December, I'm going to kind of kick back. This is when you can really make your contacts, because if you really think that the mom and pops, the lady that owns 5 locations, like Micky had mentioned, they're not going to be busy all of the time, and this is when they're really going to be concerned with savings, maybe loyalty programs, maybe recurring billing, and building a database. If December's your busiest month, wouldn't it be cool to have a database of those people so you can market to them when it's not December? Right, Micky? You've got in-store, you've got the virtual terminal, the CardPoint virtual terminal that comes with every single one of your customers that sign up. Get it? So, and it's a beautiful thing. And let me, guys, just show you briefly here. And Micky, do you have anything you'd like to share with our with the regional account managers out in the field right now, for those of maybe just starting or maybe have hit a wall? I mean, do you have anything that you would suggest that these guys do?
But the biggest thing that I think is out there, other than all the things that should be normal, that's really helped me just bluntly is Travis. I mean, by having a national sales manager to fall back on, letting he or she know when you're going to be going in to present the proposal, and get all that paperwork, get as much of that paperwork filled in before you go there. You can go to sleep waiting for the guy to decide whether to even tell you his social security number.
Yeah.
And fortunately, Travis was on the phone then, and this guy wouldn't give. He said, "Well, I'm not going to give you my social security number." So we filled out everything else on page 1. And then I said, let's call Travis and talk to him about your social security number. And Travis said, I don't care about your social security number. How about just give me a photocopy of your driver's license? We just want to know you're real. And the guy laughed, and we were off into the races. Now I wouldn't have never thought about that, because that was just something I didn't know. So it's a great learning. What a great resource to learn from. You guys are just great. I'm having more fun because you guys make it easier.
Yeah, our business model is unique. Our business model at First Direct Financial, and obviously Merchant Careers, is one that our success is directly tied to yours. We're not, Travis isn't here for the base salary. Nobody's here for that. So if you're not building your book of business and making your money, then we're not either. We're all on the same team, which is pretty nice, right? It's pretty nice. And if you need to carve out time, if you're not happy with where you're at, or you want to make a game plan going into December, because guys, you're setting up your December now. We do have time to get these things done. As Micky Finn had mentioned, with real nice paperwork, we can still get these through underwriting and boarded and live this month. So, and yeah, that is a change. We do not need social security numbers. It's driver's license. That's something that Card Connect, they made their change. And this is why Monday through Friday is so important. These webinars, that you attend these, take 30 minutes, and because we keep you up to speed with all the changes in the industry and through CardPoint, the Card Connect group, our high risk or high risk industries that we can now do. Things to help you. We're always getting new items, fresh items. We're trying to do that.
We like to bring you, the things that work in the field, the best practices. When you've got as many people out there doing what we've got doing, then you find out where the successes are, find out why they get the successes, then we bring it to everybody so that you can duplicate it. It's an organization that you don't stand alone.
Yeah.
You attend, a couple of these a week, and you get all sorts of different ideas on the next level of marketing and where to go.
And remember, they're recorded. You have an entire week until next Friday. This presentation with Keith Wallin and Micky Finn will be posted for you to go back and say, what were those websites that Keith is using? What was that networking group?
Thursday's a great day while they're cooking for you to be tuned into a football game and listening to some of this on the side.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, if you have the belief in yourself, which all of you can do this, every single, I don't care how articulate you are, you can tell Micky can talk, right? He knows he's done this before. And if you believe, though, that, hey, if you accept Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, you need to talk to me. The company I'm with will beat that rate. You notice we haven't even pulled out that, $1,000 guarantee. That's just gravy on the back end. And guys, if you believe in yourself and actually put that into action, in other words, this is your numbers game. The more people you talk to, the more money you will make, then you will make this happen. It's not going to magically appear. It's kind of like setting goals, and you're like, okay, first of the month I set goals, and that's good. That's the first start. You've got to have minimum numbers. You need to have a little urgency because it's tough the way we set this up, right, Mickey? You've got no quota. Right, Mickey? Yeah, you've got no quota, and that's a good... Yeah, that's a good and a bad thing. We're going to pay you full residuals regardless of your monthly production. And that's a great thing.
Black frames today.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding. Yeah, that's what you do there. Gary Thrine does a great job. Finish your sale off. Once they're done, this is you guys all can request these if you don't have them. Lowest price guarantee after the fact. We're going to make sure that customer's yours for years. So if somebody comes in behind us, we can go ahead and take a peek at it, and they can't write something on a piece of paper and say, this is the rate we got. I need to see it like we do it. It's a real proposal. And Gary Thrine frames this thing, right, and sends it in. Eva Miles is in the Chamber of Commerce directory. So she's got her information there. So this is kind of things that you guys can think out of the box. This is your business. Make sure you're all aware that you are working for yourself, and we're here for support. Travis Price, obviously Mickey Finn, you've got the support system there, so never feel like you're out there on your own. But you're going to drum up and kick the dust up, so to speak, of your own leads, and you're doing a really good job with that too. I really appreciate you on here. Now, Mickey, do you want to finish up? Go ahead and take us out the door. We ran over about 5 minutes. What would you suggest these guys do?
If you don't think you know anybody, get out there and meet them. It's amazing how many nice people you'll meet. And the other thing that's great, if you meet a jerk, the next one you meet will be much nicer, so walk away from the jerk.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt you to meet a new person anyway. In fact, it's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, guys, if you've got local groups there, here's Eva's. And, again, Mickey Finn, thank you so much for sharing what's working with you guys. I'll go ahead and mute you, and let's go ahead and wrap this thing up because, again, we've got work. We've got statements. Turn them in. Get those statements in. Keep your pipeline full. This is the time where, believe me, if you let a week go by where you do nothing, it's going to take you another full week to get the momentum going, and then you're 3 weeks out now before you're starting to see any action come in if you're good. So we want you to remember that. Keep getting business out there. If you are, out and about because 'tis the season, I'm hearing way too much Christmas music. It's not even Thanksgiving. Get cards. Get business cards. Make the appointment. Listen, when do you have I know you're real busy, but when do you have 5 minutes? You really need to talk to me. You're accepting cards for your business, which is awesome for your customers. How are you protecting them? The EMV. Oh, you're good there. Well, we can definitely help you out on the rate side of this thing too. We will save you money, and we've got solutions that will increase your business, especially this time of year. Why not capture all of the people running through your business and get their email so you can market to them? You're not spamming. They are agreeing to let you say, hey, I've got a 20% off promotion in June. Get that business. All right, guys, so Eric Rogers here for Mickey Finn, for Keith Wallin. Again, Keith Wallin has come in there and got everything. I know Mickey, for you guys wanting to exchange phone numbers and things like that, get your national sales director to get those contact info if you can. And keep dropping it until they give you your attention. I love that. Yeah, tenacity. Get on there and get that thing done. And I really think that that's you're helping other people. You really are. And Keith gets that. I think Mickey's getting that now, and he's having fun with it. So go get them. Get your national sales directors involved. We want to be on the phone with your merchants. I was on the phone with an accountant yesterday. Boy, she was tough. She was tough. And but we got the deal done. So let's go ahead and continue that momentum. Thank you again.